Hello and welcome to Greg's Chan 1. I am Greg and this is Channel 1. Now welcome to the Disney series. This is where I will be reviewing all Disney animated classic films, starting from number 1 all the way to currently number 55. Now obviously the best place to start is at the beginning at number 1. So we will be introducing this film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now this film was originally released in 1938. This is during World War II, so obviously this film was released to, give a happy ending and a happy style film for people to watch and to increase their morale during these rough times. Now, this film itself is only 1 hour and 20 minutes long, which is the average kind of length for most Disney movies that we know of to date. Now, I'm going to go into the IMDb score and the Rotten Tomatoes score before I give you my score. This is only because of the fact that I like to leave my score till the end. Now, as you know, if you watched any of my other reviews, I like to score between 1 and 5. 1 being pointless, don't bother watching. 5 being perfect film, nothing wrong with it, etc. So let's begin with the review of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Number 1. So the IMDb score was 7.6 out of 10, which is pretty good for IMDb. They're pretty rough on films in general. So the fact that it gave such a good score to a Disney movie in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, well done. It's got a much better score on Rotten Tomatoes though, at 98%, which is pretty good because it means that the critics and the audience are agreeing. Now that's a scary thing. It's a good thing, but still scary. Now I'll dive right into my actual review. So I loved the way that the dwarves were used in this film. They obviously all had their own characters, and they all played their own characters very well. You have Doc, Sleepy, Grumpy, Sneezy, Bashful, Dopey, and Happy. Yes, that's all 7. And these dwarves are pretty much a brilliant group of characters. Because they all got their moments to show off their personalities. Snow White, brilliant, main female protagonist. She was given time to feel like a character, and we kind of liked her. That is what I feel that they needed to do. They needed to make you like Snow White and hope that she finds her prince. So they polarized the opposite with Queen Grimilda, I think that's how you'd pronounce her name, which is the evil queen who wants to steal Snow White's beauty for herself, etc. Now, this opening imagery, the way the film opens, is absolutely beautiful. It opens very much like a book. It does like a book thing where it opens up. And it says the whole once upon a time, there was a queen who was jealous of such a fair maiden, etc. Referring to, obviously, Snow White being the fairest of them all, according to the magic mirror, and the fact that good old evil queen is very unhappy about this. Giving us the basic plot of what's going to happen. The colour scheme in this film is really, really nice. It's got a nice feel to it, and obviously, as you can tell by the DVD, I'm watching the remastered version, but you could still see a lot of the beauty in the way that it was originally done. It just looks a little smoother because they've obviously been able to tamper with it enough to make it look more modern. Now, the soundtrack for this is fantastic, and I've got to throw a shout out to Frank Churchill, Lee Harline, and Paul Smith. They were the music department, and by God, the soundtrack in this film is gorgeous. okay, some of the early songs are a bit naff and you don't really remember them, or you remember them for the wrong reasons. Like I'm Wishing. Ooh. It's repetitive to a bad degree because it's not a fun song in my book. It's a very bland song. Whereas Hi Ho, Hi Ho, It's Off to It We Go is a fun song where the dwarves are singing it with cheery spirits and oh, let's all be fun, etc. So for a lot of the songs, you got quite adorable lyrics for obviously the Rubber Dub Dub song and also Whistle While You Work. Fantastic songs. Where else can I go with this? There's imagery in Snow White when she's fleeing from the huntsman before she meets the dwarves, and the imagery in that particular section where it's almost the imagery is of the forest coming to life and trying to attack Snow White, adding this fear to Snow White's character makes her more endearing to us as the audience. And I personally think that's what you need to do. I was very impressed. I do quite like this film. I like the way that it's done. Now, obviously, you're probably going to hear this a lot from me about Disney movies because I do like my Disney. But obviously, some films I'm going to like more than others for different reasons. So, let's just finish off while I'm thinking. The good guys are likeable. They've done a great job adding humour, especially using Dopey to the full advantage of his humour that you can do with him, because they made him almost kind of a forefront dwarf in the respect that they use him for a lot of comedy because he's Dopey, and it works. What else? The music tells the story quite well. I've already said enough about the soundtrack of being beautiful, so I think we'll go over that now, because otherwise you're going to be sick of me hearing it. Teaches a couple of life lessons to kids about the whole judging a book by its cover with the dwarves. They seem like 7 small guys, what? But the whole washing your hands before you eat your food, that kind of simple stuff. And I quite like it. It's quite nice. Very, very fun film. Nice simple transitions, the fantastic use of colours. And it also starts off villains falling to their death, where they kill her off with maybe another 10-15 minutes of the film left, where her confrontation after causing Snow White to die, or sleeping death is how they word it in the film. So as Snow White's like, bleh. Queen Gramilla runs away. She's chased by the dwarves. Thinks, I'm going to try and kill them with this boulder. Lo and behold, lightning strikes. She falls to her death. The end. For her. The colours all felt really warm, the way that it was done, especially near the end, in the way that it pops back up. The use of the storybook is saying, they couldn't, the dwarves were so upset with losing her that they couldn't bury her. So they put her in a glass coffin, and then her prince arrived and saved the day, and happy days, la-di-da. Happy ending. Now, I'm going to give this film a rating. It's a 4.4 out of 5 because it's a strong, simple story that works, and they don't try to overcomplicate it. They don't, and the soundtrack's great, the colour scheme's great. Granted, a couple of the songs didn't quite hit with me, but as a whole, it's a very solid, easy film to enjoy and to look at and go, there's not too much wrong with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this first part of the Disney series with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I would recommend it, give it a watch, and obviously, seeing as I'm going to be doing a league table, first in the league table is Snow White. Hope you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, click that subscribe button if you want to keep up to date and watch more of my stuff. click the notify bell if you want to know every time Disney series is getting an episode. Let me know what your opinions are in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think of Snow White, what you think of my opinion, etc. Anyway, have a lovely day, guys, and see you soon. Bye.